1 year since the New Year's Day terror attack, reports on what happened haven't been released, and New Orleans leaders still work on permanent protections on Bourbon Street. Chris Joseph revisits the attack, the questions it raised, and what city leaders have done.
30 people hospitalized as a result of terror on Bourbon Street.
January 1st, 2025. New Orleans woke up to a new year and a new horror.
We're starting with some breaking news right now.
Shamsuddin Jabbar, a radicalized U.S. veteran, drove a rented pickup truck down Canal Street, straight toward Bourbon. Surveillance video shows him maneuvering around an NOPD vehicle at Bourbon and Canal, jumping the sidewalk, then plowing back into the street, turning a holiday celebration into a massacre.
The vehicle ran into a crowd of people. There's multiple injuries.
The rampage ended when Jabbar crashed into a piece of construction equipment, giving New Orleans police officers seconds to engage. Body camera footage shows a muzzle flash and NOPD returns fire. Officers killed Jabbar during the shootout.
Almost shocked at how well reacted under those circumstances in such a quick matter of time.
NOPD officers displayed pure selflessness and unmatched valor, which protected and saved so many.
The attack killed 14, injured more than 50, and shattered a city's sense of safety. Among those who died, Latasha Polk, a friend and a mother.
Latasha was a beautiful person, fun, loving, caring. I feel for her son. And it's sad. Nobody should have to go through this.
Another mother, Nicole Perez, lost her life.
I'm in pain. Yesterday we told her son that his mom is no longer here, and it broke his little heart.
The FBI and our partners.
In the days following the attack, the FBI released a timeline showing Jabbar planned it at least weeks in advance. October 31st, 2024, the FBI says Jabbar filmed a bike ride down Bourbon Street, the French Quarter, and Canal Street. The FBI says Jabbar returned to New Orleans on November 10th. A week later, the city began a project to replace street bollards with new ones along Bourbon Street. On December 31st, New Year's Eve, the FBI says Jabbar entered Louisiana at about 2:30 in the afternoon. That night, around 9 p.m., they say Jabbar's rented truck was spotted in Gonzales, and around 10 p.m., he unloaded that truck outside a rental home on Mandeville Street in the St. Roch neighborhood. In the early hours of New Year's Day, the FBI says Jabbar planted 2 improvised explosive devices, or IEDs, inside coolers in the French Quarter. Around 1:53 a.m., investigators say he dropped the first at Bourbon and St. Peter Street. They say people unknowingly moved that IED to Orleans Street. At 2:20 a.m., the FBI says Jabbar placed the second IED at Bourbon and Toulouse. Then, at 3:15 a.m., Jabbar turned his truck onto the Bourbon Street sidewalk, speeding down nearly 3 blocks, killing victims before police killed him.
You would never think nothing would happen like this in New Orleans. Never.
Remember, the city was in the process of replacing the bollards. Mayor LaToya Cantrell says bollards in the area were down on New Year's Day.
Bollards were not up because they are near completion, with the expectation of being completed, of course, by Super Bowl.
Video shows a wedge barrier was also down. New Orleans Police Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick explained.
Now, the wedges that you see out there as well, we knew that had malfunction problems. And I want you to understand, let's say we put the wedge up and it got stuck. There is no way that ambulance could get in or out, people couldn't get in and out, so we knew that these were malfunctions.
Law enforcement later cleared the explosive devices and raided Jabbar's home just outside of Houston. Fox 8 found the door off its hinges. Back in New Orleans, investigators also swept his rental home on Mandeville Street, finding bomb-making materials. The building caught fire around 5 a.m. New Year's Day. After the attack, scrutiny of city leaders and their security plan came quickly.
If you're worried about someone ever driving down Bourbon Street, why weren't you worried about someone driving up the sidewalk in the same way, or at least bracing for it in the same way?
Okay. All right, look. We can go on what ifs forever. This is evil. And that guy could have easily gone down the sidewalk of Canal Street. where there were a ton of pedestrians on there as well.
Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick later admitted the city had, but did not use, additional vehicle barriers called archers, which could have been placed on the sidewalks or in the street. Fox 8's Rob Krieger pressed Kirkpatrick on the issue.
Chief, where did those archers come from?
I'm sorry?
Yellow archers, where did they come from?
Actually, we have them. I didn't know about them, but we have them. And so we have been able now to put them out.
Investigate TV found the city used those same barriers for major events as far back as 2017. A Fox 8 investigation found Kirkpatrick had questions about who made decisions on barriers and what role the city's Homeland Security Director Colin Arnold played. Both Kirkpatrick and Arnold have since said the confusion has been addressed.
I think the shock of January 1st initially may have caused, a lot of people trying to come up with decisions and solutions.
Days after the attack, Kirkpatrick announced she had asked former New York Police Chief Bill Bratton and his consultancy firm to study how to harden the city. Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill also announced a state investigation.
Whether attitudes need to change, whether cooperation needs to change, whether the political structure needs to change, whether individuals need to change. All of that's on the table.
The New Orleans City Council launched its own review of how the city picked bollards for Bourbon Street.
We will follow the facts where they lead, and that will take its own time. We will work as fast and as efficiently as possible, but we are on our own timeline to do this, because once we get to the bottom of this, it will lead to a solution that is a permanent solution.
Neither the Attorney General's office nor the City Council have released a final report. Murrill released a statement saying her office completed its report and is talking with the city about event security. She says it will release the findings in the future as appropriate. Council President J.P. Morell's office told Fox 8 the delay is due in part to the city's budget crisis.
The city successfully hosted the Super Bowl and Mardi Gras without a major security incident, but attention eventually returned to Bourbon Street and how it will be secured.
Bill Bratton's team released its report in April. It endorsed a full closure of Bourbon Street, sparking citywide debate on public safety and neighborhood accessibility.
I can't bring groceries from a block and a half away. I may need an ambulance. I have heart problems.
The barricades should be automatic. Bollards that can go up and down when fire trucks need them to go up and down, when the police need them to go down.
It's not just a 16-hour job. It's a 24-hour job keeping people safe.
8 months later, Bourbon Street remains open to vehicles at designated times. Remember the new bollards the city was trying to install? Reuters reported in January the bollards were rated only to withstand a crash at 10 miles per hour. Today, new barriers guard some intersections along Bourbon, but city leaders are looking for a permanent fix. In December, Arnold and other security leaders presented a swinging gate system to the city council. They say it's a barrier which could be closed and opened at designated times with access for first responders when needed.
And everything that you're showing us shows this is very likely the most appropriate solution. And I'm not saying that ultimately it's not what we're going to ultimately end up doing. It's just we to all be on the same page with the new council and new administration.
City leaders say a final decision is expected after Mayor-elect Helena Moreno is sworn in on January 12th. For now, the memory of those lost lives lives on through a second line of prayer flags in the sky.
No more. We can't take this. No more. We don't deserve this. Nobody deserves this. I don't care what city it is, what state, what country. Nobody deserves this.
This New Year's Day, New Orleans woke up with old scars, but a chance for change. In New Orleans, Chris Joseph, Fox 8, Local First.